Thank you.
Presiding Officer, Balance for Better is a call to action to address the overrepresentation of men at the expense of women on business boards, in political chambers and on the media. This situation, a situation where 52% of the population are underrepresented, harms everyone. I've said it many times and I will keep saying it. It's not just about unfairness to the women and girls not participating, to the women and girls not visible. It's damaging to society as a whole. Diverse groups make better decisions. Diverse groups make better policy, resulting in better outcomes for our communities. The UN Special Rapporteur said of the UK welfare reform that so disproportionately reaped misery on women, and particularly single parents and disabled and the young. If you got a group of misogynists together in a room and said, how can we make a system that works for men but not for women, they wouldn't have come up with too many other ideas than what's in place. I don't know how many women were in the room when these reforms were developed, but I do know that still in 2019, in our parliaments and in our council chambers, women, in particular women from black and ethnic minority communities, particularly disabled women, are woefully underrepresented. And if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. In 2016, I was one of only 45 female MSPs elected to serve in the Parliament. It's not good enough. And it's not good enough that we have no women from black ethnic minority communities in here either. Only this week I've heard at both Gillian Martin's Women in Enterprise cross-party group and on my own committee, real-life examples of the structural racism that exists here in Scotland, coupled with sexism. You can see how crucial it is that we have more black and minority ethnic women's voices in our institutions. At the last election, Scottish Labour and the SNP took action to ensure more female MSPs were in our Parliament. Waiting for change that moves at a glacial pace is not an option. If you believe in equality, then measures have to be taken to redress the imbalance. Action has to be taken. Slogans and hashtags are not enough. And, Presiding Officer, there's solid evidence that when you do that, quality increases. It doesn't decrease, it increases. And to those in groups where white, middle-aged, able-bodied men are overrepresented, I'd simply ask that they reflect on this. Perhaps when they're using the word merit, it's actually privilege they're referring to. I utterly reject the notion that men are overrepresented in public life because they're better, and I reaffirm my commitment to legislation, to quotas, to action. Deeds, not words, as sister suffragettes used to say. The Scottish Government motion also talks to upholding and protecting the rights of women and girls. Briefly, very briefly.
Maurice Corrie.
Thank you, President. Would the member not agree that it's also very important that you actually assess people also on their skills and suitability to jobs, irrespective of what sex they are?
Thank you, and it would help if you speak to your microphone next time, but we heard you nevertheless. Ruth
Presiding
Maguire.
Officer, there is evidence that when you have more diverse groups of people, the quality goes up. Nobody's talking about having unqualified people, and what I'm saying to you is that this perception that the overrepresentation of men is about merit, it's not. It's about privilege. It's about the privilege of white, able-bodied men. Upholding the rights of women and girls, they are fundamental human rights, and these rights have been long and hard fought for and should be defended vigorously. The fight is not over. We have female genital mutilation, prostitution, sexual slavery. Women and girls are refused access to education, access to political participation. Women and girls are trapped in conflicts globally where rape is used as a weapon of war. And around the world, deaths relating to pregnancy and childbirth are needlessly high, and women and girls are prevented from making deeply personal choices about their reproductive health care. As the Cabinet Secretary said in opening, women as a sex class do not have equality, and the fight is not over, not in this country and not globally. The rights of women and girls must be defended vigorously. I'm very grateful to all the organisations that the CabSec mentioned and to the many individuals who do just that, however they describe their feminism. And I would just finish in thanking my colleague Joan McAlpine for speaking up this week and raising a matter that many of us have been uncomfortable raising. I thank all women who do that.
Thank you.